our viewers. Welcome back to Simply Mums. Thanks for both who are subscribing and the returning subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us. So today, as you can see, difference in a new place called Estecan. We have Michael and Adrian with us.
We are proprietors here at Estecan Cafe. We've just been open just about 3 months now.
Yeah.
And we're trying to offer quality specialty coffee here in Coventry.
And Adrian?
Yes, it was Mike's brainchild, really, but I try to support him where I can and looking forward to a future where we can help more people.
So Adrian and Michael, they are parents. So they are parents as well. They have 3 children. Yeah, 3 children grown up. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 boys to come. Yeah, who we love very much. So all very different.
Yeah.
And beauty of having 3 children is they are very different, and you realise it's not all our fault. They are themselves. You know, they're their own people, really. So they're all in work, do different things.
That must be such a relief.
Our first baby was very easy, wasn't he? Nice and look after, very placid.
Yeah.
Life changed so much, really. Yeah. It's harder having 2 and adjusting to the second one. After 2 or 3 years, we learned how to get him to sleep. Yeah. And be a bit more strict about getting him to sleep at the time. I remember that much. Because he was so different to number 1.
Yeah. Routines helped, I guess.
Yeah. But it was hard to get him into a routine, and I remember that. But you did eventually. You just had to be firmer about it at night time. Yeah.
You had that. If you're out there, mom, and you're struggling to get your baby to sleep, routine.
Yeah.
Routine helps.
Yeah. We had this system whereby you put him down and have a routine putting him down, and then you put him in his cot, he'd start crying. I remember, so you'd leave him for a minute and then you go back to him, but you'd leave the light off. You'd leave him in the cot, just reassuring that you were there. Then you'd come away for 2 minutes, then you'd go back, and then you'd come away for 3 minutes. And for about an hour, he would...
No, 20 minutes.
He'd get to sleep.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he got used to that routine. Yeah, I remember that. Seems a long time ago now.
It does seem a long time ago.
So were you working at that time?
No, so that made it easier.
Yeah.
Running at
You were...
is much easier than...
Yeah, and Mike worked really long hours. And he had quite a difficult, demanding job. I think it would have been, you didn't really want me to go out to work, did you?
No, we were in a position where we could have that traditional setup.
That's really good.
And I'd waited quite a long time for a family, as I really wanted to enjoy the time when I had the...
I know when I came home, it would be, the cavalry's arrived, I need help now. Yeah, and wish you did. And so you've got to get used to that.
Yeah.
I think.
It's quite good when you're able to stay home and look after the children, if you have
It's
that.
nice to have the choice.
Yeah.
As to whether you can stay at home, and I chose to stay at home because I didn't have to go out to work.
Yeah.
For those people who don't necessarily choose that, would actually prefer to be working as well. And I understand that a lot of women, especially today, that are educated, have left careers or in difficult situations, would rather be able to go out and work. But I was lucky that I was able to choose that situation. And I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed seeing their first everythings in there and being there for things that they did at school and that sort of thing. But you also have to be aware of the fact that it's quite lonely. And if you haven't got a strong support network, it can be really lonely bringing up children on your own.
Yeah. Like for me, because it's been such a big gap between my older kids and this little baby.
Yeah.
I have had to feel like I'm starting afresh.
Yeah.
And then the good thing is that there is a support network. So we had a good support network. And then the other day, one of my friends came and took me to a baby group. I'm like, oh, this is good. I've never been to one before.
There are lots.
Did you have those at that time?
Yes, there are lots of things that you can take your babies to, and it really, really helps. Not just toddler groups. There are things like rhythm time, which is musical things for babies. You can do baby yoga, swimming, all sorts of things. I mean, I am aware that a lot of these cost money, but not all of them do.
Yeah, there's some
Free ones. Yes, there are free ones, and some of them are contributions only. So as long as you can contribute whatever you want. Any of those support networks, if you can get to them, I think are really good. They're really helpful.
Yeah.
I'm
They've
still
been
friends
friends
with
for life,
the
haven't they? Yeah.
with the mums
Wow.
that I met
Yeah.
then.
Since then?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
20
So-
years.
No, well, 30 years. Yeah, about 30 years, yeah. So they are a good spot, especially if you haven't got family nearby. You know, if you've got family, it's great because they can lend a hand. Otherwise, you do rely on good friends.
Yeah, some of us, we don't have family here. So our friends are
Yeah, your
actually our
family.
family. So, and then you get used to that type of life and make good friends.
Yeah, make good friends if you can.
Make sure you make good friends, mom and dad.
Yes, it's the same for
Yeah.
fathers.
Yeah.
You know, if they're the ones that are at home. In fact, it's probably harder, I think, for fathers if they're the ones that are bringing up children. Because a lot of things, I think, are geared around women
Yes.
rather than around men. But
But how
haven't
is
had
it
experience with that.
for the father? Did you feel like you're missing out for not being...
Well, I tried to be there for a special event at school or something like that. But yeah, I probably did miss out on many of the middle of the day things. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're doing your contribution in a
That's-
different
in a
way.
different
That's-
way.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
Supporting in a different way.
Yeah, and
So your holiday times, family times are important, and we try and keep those going now.
yeah.
So we got all the family together the weekend before last, which was great. To meet them all
Nice.
again in
Yeah.
different parts of the country, and we hope to see
Nice.
them all at Christmas.
We always have meal time together. That was one thing we did do, is that we all always had our evening meal at the same time together. But that was, we didn't have a television on or anything.
Yeah. No distractions.
No distractions.
That's it.
That was
I think-
family time, and, and we
Before
still
the time
do
of
it now.
televisions, wasn't it? I'm not sure. But
Was it before the time of computers?
yeah.
Which
All right.
probably
It's a
helped.
bit different now because everyone...
And everyone's got a phone.
phone everywhere, every time.
Technology
rid of the
intrudes.
phones.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas, yes, so it was easier from that point of view. But we did always eat together, and we still do. So that was quite nice
Yes.
together.
That's good. And as the kids have grown, is there something you feel you would have done different?
Oh, loads. Loads. Give me my time again. Yes, really. Yeah. Lots of things that I would do differently. No. Yeah.
When our oldest was becoming a teenager,
Yeah.
Adrian said, "You need to be doing things with him now." So we went and joined a climbing club, an indoor climbing club, and indoor climbing. We did that for many years, which was great. So it's finding doing things together is a good key to do.
Biggest thing that I would do differently is listen to them more.
Yeah.
Just listen to them more and find out what. I think having 3 children and a husband who was working very hard, and a dog and a cat and chickens and all the other things. Yeah.
It's a busy
It was a busy life, and my family lived a long way away.
Okay.
And I just think I spent a lot of time just coping, trying to cope. And now looking back, I think I just wished I'd spent more time just listening to them rather than just this coping thing. Rather, I think that would have helped me. If somebody said to me, "So I'm trying to cope,"
Yeah.
start listening. Yes. Yeah.
So is that do you feel that was teenagehood, or like at what stage?
No, I think it was as they got older.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely as they got older and their needs changed. Yeah. And they got the teenage angst along the end. But yes, I wish I'd listened to them more as to what they needed.
They've just learned something at one age and they've moved on.
It's true, actually. You just think you're getting something right, and then the next thing comes. Oh, I'm not ready for this one. Yeah, it is a little bit like that. But
I feel the same.
yeah, but it is hugely rewarding. It's hugely rewarding.
Never do that.
No. When they send you little notes that you find in your pocket and that sort of thing, it's lovely. Yeah, it's worthwhile.
Nice. How did the Estecan come about? What does Estecan mean?
Estecan really means a narrow little glass or teacup.
It's on our logo, so that is an Estecan there. That little glass.
A little.
Probably won't pick that up, but
It actually comes from English, the English East tea can, and the English were out in the Middle East. They used to have their tea, and it got taken over, I'm told, and used. And an Estecan is known to be a teacup. So if you have a narrow, can be glass. Well, that would be that's an English one.
An English.
A narrow glass teacup would be an Estecan. So it's really for tea, but one of our Iranians suggested it would be good for the name and the different. So we thought, why not go with it? And so they've chosen it.
Yeah. Nice. It's Michael's baby. Brain
yeah, baby.
I could never remotely have considered it on my own at all. There's a team. Adrian's responsible for the artistic side and decorations. She said no worries about that. She'd do all that, which was a great
We
relief
enjoyed
to
doing
me.
that. That's really quite good fun.
Yeah, so
Getting it looking
We knew a
nice.
number of Iranians who needed to be learning how to do things, practicing their English, getting to know the English way of life, and a coffee shop seemed a good way of getting them started.
And having something to do, having a bit of a purpose, because otherwise I think boredom is really hard. If you've got nothing to do and no purpose and no sign of a job coming or life changing, and you're a bit stuck. It's quite nice to be able to have something that you can fill your time with, fill your day with, learn a new skill.
yeah.
So, yeah.
This is a coffee shop. It's located on Fergusford Road in Coventry. If you know Coventry, it's a very busy street. There is lots of restaurants around here. So you'll see it's a traditional building. It has a lot of character as you pass, but there's actually a bus stop at the front. Just come in and have a drink. While supporting the community. There is a good behind this cafe, and that's why I want you guys to know about it. How did this come about?
Well, we knew in Coventry a lot of Iranian friends, mostly men to start with, and then their wives and partners have come over and joined them. And we learned how hard it was for them to get into work and get into English life.
Yes.
It really opened our eyes to how hard that was. And so we wanted to do something that would give them a step forward, really. We didn't really know what we were doing. We just started and see what happens, really.
And now, how many months has it been?
We've been open 3 months now, and that's an achievement in itself.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're pleased we've got here.
We had
Yep.
the building already.
Yeah.
We're already using the building.
Mm-hmm.
And the lease was coming up to finish.
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, it's decision time now. Do we carry on doing what we were doing? We were running Bible reading groups here and doing film nights and things with local refugees that had come. asylum seekers as well. And so we had a decision time at that point. Do we keep it and do something else with it, or do we let it go now? But it's such a lovely building.
It is.
But it was, and a lot of the asylum seekers that we knew had moved on, started to get rehoused and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the ones that we knew were beginning to be dispersed. So we thought, this is the time to decide now.
Yeah.
What do we do with it? And it just says happen, doesn't it?
It does. It does actually. So do you like give them jobs or?
We started as volunteers,
Yes.
and partly at their request, really. They didn't want to.
They were happy to
Yeah.
just learn a new skill.
Everyone was
and,
just feeling their way, really.
Yeah.
and also good for their English.
Yes.
Is the other thing, that if you're stuck in a house or a room all day, you're not learning about the culture, you're not learning into the language, but if you're working in a coffee shop where people are coming all the time, then you hope people are coming all the time.
Please guys, come to the cafe.
I know one of our volunteers was very capable at preparing food and drink, but was nervous about using his English.
Yeah, bless.
But after a month here, now he's quite confident. You know, he doesn't.
We've had a
he
couple
knows.
like that,
And
that realise they can do it.
Yeah. So you taking one other volunteers? Do you want some more volunteers?
We do actually, yeah.
Okay, so if you're out there and you've just come to the UK and you're in Coventry specifically, this is quite well located, and you don't have a job, you want to get some voluntary work experience for the UK, because most times before like you get a job, they ask you, do you have references? You don't have any references.
I know. It's really difficult, isn't it?
You've not lived in this country. So here you are, come and speak to Michael or anyone who will be here, and they can register you and you can volunteer. Sounds good. So what types of coffees do you offer? Oh.
Yeah, we need a
You
pack,
name it, we'll do it.
we need a packed coffee leaflet. We needed a coffee supplier who would help us. We were learning our business. They get trainers, but also we wanted one that
was ethical.
ethically sourced, and packed coffee are very good. They've done all the training we wanted. They are very good at ethically sourcing. They pay 40 to 80% more than fair trade coffee direct to the farmers, and they're trying to build these long-term relationships with the farmers. They get better coffee, and they get more predictable supplies, organically grown, and it's lovely coffee.
It is nice coffee, yeah.
So we're pleased with the supplier we've chosen. That's good. Yeah.
Good. And it's sustainable as well. I've seen the leaflet.
Yeah.
They're what they call a B Corporation.
B Corp, yeah.
Yeah, which I hadn't come across before, but they're very it's ethical,
invested
sustainable,
in it, aren't they?
yeah, community driven.
All businesses want to be sustainable, and they also want to be doing good, some corporate social responsibility. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is a sustainable business. So they support all the way to the farmer. So the coffee that you're drinking right here is not just coffee, but it's also helping someone's life be better. So, and that is ethical and sustainable as well. So I'm glad that that's part of that's part of it.
Yeah. Picking the right supplier was a big decision for us, but it took a few weeks to think about it, but we're pleased with the choice we came up with.
Yeah, they've been very helpful.
Yeah.
Good.
We do tea as well.
Okay, tea as well. Tea is a British thing.
I'm trying to move into homemade Iranian cooking, and today we've got some baklava for the first time.
What's that?
Baklava.
Oh, it's nice. It's
very
sort of
sweet.
honey and almonds and pastry. Won't tell that's yummy.
Well, you must
See?
try some
Very
baklava
You need to come and try all these things.
Afghan cinnamon cake, chocolate and vanilla, homemade. goes well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So how are you managing working, balancing family? How is that?
I mean, I still work 3 days a week, so I had a couple of days. But we, with our children having grown up, we do have more time now. Yes. So when they're young, they come first.
But we're still feeling our way, really. We haven't been open that long, and we are quite green, really. We haven't had experience in anything like this before. So we are learning quite a lot as we go.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Which is always good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know until you try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Like they say you have to start. Don't wait too long.
Yeah.
Like when you have an idea, and you said you had this was 3 years before you started
Yeah.
Liquid Faith.
But
Yes.
a different use
Yes,
then.
we were using
Yeah.
something different
it's more
then.
of a drop-in centre, community centre then, that now
But over the last year, I guess we've been
we've been moving towards
thinking
a coffee
about,
shop. Yeah.
how we're going to do it. Is it possible? It's a great two-lifted building, so we had to get permission to do a lot of the things that we wanted to do, like put the kitchen in and that sort of thing, and it's all been monitored quite carefully. So that's taken a little bit of time as well to get that right. But I think it looks lovely now.
It looks
We've done
lovely,
it. It's
yeah.
really nice. So-
it's really beautiful
yeah.
and cozy. Yeah.
But Adrienne's done really well at sourcing furniture from charity shops. Yeah. Just really on a shoestring. just to get started.
In finding things.
And then one of our Iranian volunteers has made some of the furniture on the other side.
Yeah,
he's made,
the sofa
And
over
he's,
there,
he's been
and the
learning
tables
new
over there were
skills.
made by him. And the counter was made by him too.
Wow. See?
So
Those are very useful
Yeah.
skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have any other skills that we don't know about, you know where to come.
That's it. You never know. That's right.
Put your skills to use.
Yeah.
And then you also get a reference.
Yeah.
The last thing I expected to be would be talking about bringing up babies. I know nothing at all about raising children, apart from having 3 of our own. Yeah.
Many years ago.
Yeah. But you never know what you're going to get into until you have a go.
There you go. As I keep saying to Mike, what is the aim? What are we aiming to do? What are our objectives in doing this? Because if you don't have a clear vision as to what you wanted to do, that's when things start to get messy.
Yes.
Because nobody really knows, what's it for? What are we trying to do? What are we aiming to do? So I think that's been quite a challenge, is just sitting down and thinking about what are we actually trying to do with this, and where are we hoping to take it in the
We're trying to help refugees as our primary aid, but we haven't been clear who's been able to take on what role or responsibility, and that person's been ill, and are they going to get well again?
and who's managing it, and the different people managing it, or is just one person
Learning
managing
the
it.
trade,
Those sorts
I
of
think,
things
yes.
have been a little bit of a challenge. And how much do we want it to be community based, and how do we encourage that to happen? And it's little things as well, like if somebody homeless comes in, do we give free coffees? Then do we give free food? Then do we give their friends free coffee?
I know, right? It's got
And
to
then
bring
we've
the
got-
whole village.
Yeah, and you've got to decide so that you're all doing the same thing. So you don't want one day somebody to say, yes, come in, sweat outside, come and sit down. And then the next day they come in and the business are, no, we don't. So we've got to sort of decide on what our...
But I'm
yeah,
trying to
really.
bring them and get them motivated without telling them too much. They might be looking for leadership, but I don't know what's in them, where they like to go. So I'm trying to let them
Yeah,
let
have
them
a chance to
what
have a
what
voice.
skills they want
Yeah.
to
It's about having a
apply.
voice, isn't
Yeah.
it? They feel like they have got a voice in their idea.
If you're starting as a volunteer, you're a volunteer, and if you don't feel like coming, you don't have to, And then you've got the problems of, can the shop open that day?
You know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you've got to let them have their space. So nothing's perfect. You just get by the best you can.
It's a learning curve, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learning curve. And then the challenges in parenting.
Yeah.
How
We have those too.
Yeah. And how have you overcome those? Okay, what challenges and how have you overcome them?
You have to ask our children. I think.
What do you think they would say?
I think the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges is bringing them up to be independent, but trying not to let the world corrupt them.
You've looked.
It's a really, really, really difficult path to tread.
They do
Really
make their own
difficult path.
decisions in the end. You know, you just got to be there for them.
But you have got to guide them as well. And it's just knowing, how much
How
much control to have.
Yeah.
How much to
Well, in the end, you don't have control. In the end, so you have to be ready to let go, and then welcome them back when they want to come back. I think.
Yeah, I guess you do your job of impacting the values that you want in them, the values in their home, training them as what you think is going to be right.
important things. They are important things. And you need to be teaching them when they're this high.
I know, right?
Well, the way to go is too late once they're teenagers. We were lucky in that we've got a strong church background.
Yeah.
So anything to do with morals or ethics and the behaviour, we had support from the church in that.
Yeah.
So I think that was useful.
And you want to have happy times together.
Yes.
Honey, I think you can have some happy times and give them a base as well. I think when they pick the other things up by osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't know what it means, but please.
Hopefully they pick the right ones. And also to know that parents were not perfect either. So on the journey, we're learning as they grow over time. Yeah. So we just learn as we go.
And they're all different, of course. So what works with one child and you think, got this. And then you try on the next child. Yeah, that didn't work.
They're all different, so it's not all our fault.
Each one has their own character.
Yeah.
You can already see this one having their own character.
Yeah.
So,
He would be different. He would be different. To bring different challenges. Fine. Be ready.
so bracing myself.
He'll be a pop.
They're just a blessing that you have, and you try and appreciate that fall out.
Yeah. So that's interesting to hear from you because so some of us, like when you come from our countries, like some of us who don't have like holidays and things like that. How did that start in here? Is that like culture that has been here for a long time? When did that start?
Holidays with the family?
Yeah, like
It is
family
quite a
holidays
leisure
and things
culture,
like that.
I would
yeah.
say.
Is that something that was there before? Is it or it's been like that? Is it a new thing?
Oh, it's a
I
very
don't
good
know.
question. It's a very good question. I think people have more leisure time now than they used to have. And I guess in that leisure time, people do go on holidays. You can get fairly reasonably priced holidays now. I think that made a difference. Yeah, I'm not sure really. I'm sure we go on holiday more than our parents went on holiday. Yeah, or had days out or treats and that sort of thing. But that can be to do with your Exactly. Not everybody has the luxury of being able to go on holiday or having days out or treating the children or whatever. So I do appreciate that.
Good, good to know. Because we thought that was like a culture thing. We thought that was a culture.
Okay.
But,
I hadn't really thought about it before.
No, I've not thought about it.
Yeah,
before,
because like we were talking on one of the episodes and we were saying like as us want to be integrating in this society and that holiday thing came up. So I just wanted to know where that came from.
I mean, I guess originally it would have been holy days. There were church days. You know, things like Easter was a church day, Christmas, there were church days, Ascension Day, all these things were sort of church related, which is where the word holiday comes from. It's a holy day. So I think that's where it started. And then with the unions and things, more time was given to workers to have holidays. Holidays became more available as the workers' rights became stronger. So I think that gave people more leisure time. People having their babies later, so they can have a little bit more money. I think that gives them access to more leisure things like gyms. The gym, that's the thing, good swimming. So yeah, I guess it's happened slowly over time. And now people expect a holiday. Well, you know.
It's part of the culture now.
Yeah.
So
You need a rest, don't you? You need a break. Yeah.
Any future plans for the business? Where do you see it going?
Well, we thought it needed to get more people in, so we'd start to have events. And you said you'd like to film here. We thought, great, add something that's activity happening in the cafe, and we might go back to our film evenings again.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested more English classes, which are always needed, although I do know there's a few in the city, English classes run, but there's always a need.
Yeah.
But all community things would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, things like mother and toddler time or a safe place for women, those sorts of things. It would be nice if we could use a year-long community-based thing. It's because it is a nice space.
Yeah.
And it is available. So maybe that's the way we'll go in the
And the coffee is very good.
cup was wonderful.
And the staff are okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what? I was actually scared when I came in. I looked.
Not as good as me.
So when I came in, this background kind of attracted me to enter, and then I entered there. I was like, should I talk to him? Should I not? and then he was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I have an idea, but I don't know if I should tell you about it." And he's like, "Yeah, tell me about
the
it."
first time you came in.
Yeah. And he was like, "Tell me about it." And then I explained to him what I was thinking. And he's like, "Okay, I think we would be open to that, but I'll speak to my boss." I'm like, "Okay." I went home, I told my husband. I was like, "Okay, good."
Yeah.
And then when I got a call from you, I was like, "Okay."
And it was the space that attracted you to it. You looked it.
Yeah, and so here we are.
That's it.
Here we are.
The lots of refugees that we've known, and it's the ones who have a go and get started and try, that do make progress. I think you've got to stick your foot out. Exactly. Go. Yeah, especially practicing your English. Yeah. And that's one of the things that the lesson do is interact with people every day. Yeah. My daughter surprised me. She said a barista skill is quite in demand.
Apparently, you're not just known
A
about that.
good barista will command more than minimum wage. They're trained, and I hadn't realised there was so much skill to
No,
it.
I didn't either.
We've had 2 training sessions. I'm just learning. Really, myself. So there's skills to be learned, I think.
And I think you know that when you go to a cafe and have a bad coffee.
You know? And you think, this is a bad
Like-
coffee.
Like I can
They need
get
retraining. Because I'm a coffee snob now.
So who does the training?
The coffee people.
We'll
Yeah.
do the training.
Yeah,
they
right.
can-
Yeah, they
and
come and
so
train
they'll
you.
do as much training as
Yeah.
we need.
So they train you on how to make the coffee.
The different sorts of coffee. They last. It's quite a skill set.
Yeah, it's quite subtle.
Quite
The
complicated.
difference between a cappuccino
And a
a latte is about 2 millimeters. It's they want to get it more frothy. Yeah, so surprisingly interesting learning about coffee.
I'm learning too now.
Yeah.
I'm learning as well. I didn't know that. They say you learn every day. So.
Yeah. Something new.
Yes. So any last words or advice? So for example, a couple have just come to the country, or maybe just a mother or a whole family. Like, do you have any advice for them having, lived your audio life?
I think try and get a support network around you if you possibly can. Look at community centres. Ask anyone. Ask your doctor. Ask your neighbours. Just see ask at the local school, library, anything where you think you might be able to join a group or become part of a community. I think is really, really useful. Partly so you know the process. The process is really difficult. It's knowing things like you do have to register at a doctor's. You do have to find yourself a dentist.
Don't wait until you're ill.
Yes.
It's those sorts of things. If you've got children, you need to find out which schools you're going to be going to, when you've got to apply for them. All these things need to be done. And there are translators out there. If you do ask organisations and ask for a translator, then I think because the language is such a big barrier and you come to a new country if you don't speak the language very well and it can stop you doing things, I think try not to let that be a barrier or find somebody that does speak a little bit more English than you and take them with you. Even if it's going to the doctor's appointment, if you know somebody that speaks the language a little better, take them with you. And then doctors are okay with that. So
Networking and your local church group.
Yes.
That's useful.
Find people and just keep talking and meeting people, really.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to host you on Simply Mums. So
Thank
guys,
you.
subscribe on the channel and make sure that you drop into Estecan Cafe.
Yeah. Always a warm welcome.
Because, I've tested there.
It's time for coffee.
Yeah, it's time for coffee. Just don't miss out.
Yeah. Never.
All right. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
cheers. Bye. See you next time. And then
Well-
you talk a lot. Then the sleepless nights or whatever. Or someone talking about boundaries. So going forward, I'm going to.